What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Here is a recap of the second episode of Marriage Bootcamp Family Edition Reality Stars. So this episode completely shifted my opinion of Amber, and I think you might be a little bit surprised by what I have to say. So here's how it started. Chrissy, Renee, and Mama D were all in the kitchen talking about Amber's volatility, and she suddenly comes in and let's just note here really quickly, I'm a bit saddened by the fact that Amber looked their age. Like, she didn't look like a young girl, you know, in a room full of like, what, 40, 50, 60, you know, year old women. She literally looked like age mates with them. And that was quite frightening considering the fact that she's only like in her 20s, you know? Anyway, her and Chrissy managed to hash out their differences after she lets Chrissy know that she suffers from things like bipolar and borderline personality disorder. I've always found Chrissy to be a really sweet girl, especially like through the beginning of this season. Like, she seems to genuinely be there to fix issues in her life, and so it was unfortunate for her, you know, the way that Amber acted in episode 1. Even though she refused to accept Amber's apology in episode 1 as well, I'm happy to see her come around, you know, on her own time on this. Next up, there was a first exercise, which was for a person to get into a silent booth and just rant about, you know, their family members that they're there with. When Matt went into the booth, he didn't really say anything worth noting, you know, especially that I can remember. And then Brandy Glanville just said that she had a sinking feeling that he was with Amber for all of the wrong reasons. Amber's mom, Tonya, reiterated the fact that she felt like all of his lies needed to stop, which was so freaking ironic, because Amber gets into the booth right after her mom talks about, you know, Matt being a snake, a liar, and like manipulative and all of that. So Amber gets into the booth and she reveals that her mom gambled away $45,000 of her dollars, of Amber's dollars, while she was away in prison. Absolutely shocking, devastating, dumbfounding, and like disgusting, right? Like, why would she even do that? Like, I don't get it. Like, did she steal the money? Like, Amber didn't go into any details, and it kind of sounded like she almost stole the money. Like, I feel like Amber would give her mom access to her money, like to take care of herself and like do intelligent things with them, but definitely not to go gamble like that. And to think that her ex as well, Matt, had gambled away like over $100,000 of her money. I cannot imagine what she feels like being there with the both of them, and especially listening to her mom critique Matt for, like, you know, being a shady like person who's manipulative with Amber, who does stupid things with money, this, that, and the other, having dirty money motives, when she's over there gambling her own daughter's money away, knowing damn well she cannot replace that amount of money. Absolutely shocking, you guys. Like, you know, man, I was so angry for Amber. That must be so freaking stressful and infuriating. After the exercise passes by, you know, a lot of people are just chilling with each other on the back patio. Amber and her family sit outside with Mama Jones, and Matt is just there listening to the two of them speak about their experience there and what they're there for. And he wasn't really speaking, and for some reason that, you know, lit Amber up, and she decided she wanted to start a fight over it. And it's just, she needs to learn to stop being so like, what do you call it, antagonistic. Stop being so thirsty for fights. Let the man just sit there if that's what he feels like doing. Maybe he doesn't feel like airing his dirty laundry out to these people in particular. I mean, I know they're on television, but it's different, you know, just talking with cameras being there as opposed to having a conversation with someone that you don't really feel a rapport with. So I kind of at that moment was like, Amber, like, just let him sit there if that's what he decides to do. You're only making yourself look worse and worse. You're making it so easy for him to claim that you are, you know, the problem in this relationship. Later on, it's just the two of them one-on-one in the back patio with a couple of the people there in the perimeters. And again, she starts screaming at him and stuff. And he's like, Amber, why are you always yelling? Like, you're crazy. And her mom steps in, and Amber tells her to shut up because she is yelling at Matt because he is a woman beater. Matt pushes himself down the stairs and tries to blackmail Amber with it. He punches himself in the face and makes threats to call the police and say that Amber did it. all of this stuff to keep her silent, to keep her with him, to keep her manipulated. When that bomb dropped, to me, that is, worse than the physical abuse that he does to her. Like, the psychological stuff, you guys, is what is going to mess you up. Like, that is just insane to think. And I feel like I might have like alluded to this in like some of my recaps like last season, that I always felt like Matt was that type. Like, Matt, he's a sinister person. He is a devil taking the shape of a person. Like, I don't believe that guy is human. He's disgusting. That's what I think about alleged sociopaths like him. Just absolutely disgusting, like skin suits, no real human under that. The idea of him pushing himself down the stairs, punching himself, and threatening Amber with the police to get money out of her, to get whatever else out of her to make her stay with him, is not far-fetched whatsoever, if you ask me. And that is the scary part. And seeing Amber blow up about this and no one have anything to say is just absolutely insane. Like, the doctors, V and Ish, were just sitting there watching like, wow, if this gets physical, we'll step in. But they had literally nothing to say about the jaw-dropping accusations that Amber just threw out against Matt. And honestly, they sound like real. Like, I don't doubt it at all. To me, it all makes so much sense, considering how Amber was with Gary versus how she was with Matt. And when you also take into account the fact that Amber did get into legal problems because of her past domestic violence against Gary, that Matt would use that against her. Like, it is a scary, terrifying thought. And now I can like completely understand why she's always like on 100, because no one seems to believe her or take her claims seriously. And that is the worst thing. Like, if she were walking around bruised and stuff, no one would doubt it whatsoever. But like, she is walking around being like beat up psychologically, like regularly by this person and manipulated all the time. And no one seems to have anything to say about it. The mom that she should be leaning on is out here stealing her money to gamble it away. Like, she is backed into a corner. And I felt so horrible for her. I think I was tearing up at this point. Like, I was devastated for Amber. Of course, Matt claims that he never once beat Amber. And then he, like I said, threw it out there. He's like, I've never beat you before, Amber. Who went to prison for battering someone, you or me? And at that moment, it was like, you're right, but that does not mean that what she's saying is wrong. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. So hurtful, so psychotic, manipulative, all of that stuff, you guys. I'm a 100% team Amber on this point, which is like a complete 180 considering, how I felt about her in episode 1. But man, like, this can absolutely not be easy whatsoever. And the fact that he consistently calls her crazy every time she says anything is just so harmful, considering the fact that, she suffers from, various mental illnesses, and she's hurt, she's crying, she's devastated, she's hurt. Like, why are you calling someone crazy for what they believe? I just don't get it. Like, that is the last thing. If someone accused you of that sort of thing, why would you? I don't get it. Honestly, I have no words for the way that he just throws around the word crazy to her, tries to make people think that she is a psycho. Like, he is 100% like out of his mind, like a pro sociopath, a pro manipulator. Absolutely disturbing. At this point, things get too heated, so the two of them separate, and Amber walks away crying about how much she loves him and stuff, despite all of the abuse that she goes through with him. And people keep telling her to get out because it is absolutely insane to stick around with something like that. And then Matt walks away telling her to stop freaking lying about abuse, which is just wow. Dr. Ish then goes to talk to Matt in that little crib his ass belongs in about the confrontation that went down with Amber. And Matt still maintains his delusion that Amber is 100% lying about everything she's experienced. And Dr. Ish's bum ass tells Matt, you know what, like, you need to stay dignified. Don't stoop down to her level when she does this sort of thing. Like, maintain your dignity and all of this, which was so crazy because he never once asked Matt to explain where these allegations were coming from. Never explained that it is absolutely wrong to gaslight someone about their own feelings, their own experiences. Absolutely wrong to call your fiance crazy. Absolutely wrong to outright dismiss their feelings and laugh at them when they claim that you abuse them. Wrong on so many levels. Like, that conversation was ridiculous. In the final challenge of the episode, there's a truth or dare thing where people have to step into this little glass pit thing and either reveal something that they said in the soundproof booth or have snakes released onto them. And so once in there, Amber asks Matt to stop calling her a liar about the abuse that she faced at his hands and to just acknowledge what happened and like be truthful about it. And he just smirks and like chuckles at her and refuses to. So of course the snakes are released onto him, which, you know, should like set him straight or something, but he just refused to acknowledge anything. Like he has zero feelings about how Amber is suffering, like, you know, being with him. And it is just so bone chilling to see such a disgusting piece of shit waste of human skin there. And it's just so crazy to think how quickly Amber, you know, lost herself in this. This is why, you guys, you do not move in with strangers, especially not strangers you meet off the internet. And it's sad to think that she didn't learn her lesson, because here she is in the exact same position yet again with this Andrew fella that she moved in within what, a day, and got pregnant by within just a couple of weeks. It's like at a certain point, a person has to be blamed for their own freaking addiction to dysfunction and suffering. Like, you know, it just seems like she plays a pretty prominent role in her own victimization by making such stupid choices in life and such desperate choices, especially considering the fact that she should be spending her time catching up with her daughter. But no, she's got no time for Leah, but all the time in the world and money in the world. Remember, she's back, you know, she owes a lot of money on Leah's child support, but she's got no time or money for Leah, but she's got all the time and money in the world for these deadbeat ass losers. It's just sad, sickening all around. My heart really did go out to Amber this episode, because what she's claiming Matt did, I 100,000% wholeheartedly believe. And it is just some of the most horrific allegations of abuse that I could have imagined. You know, imagine that, you guys. Like, just put yourself in her shoes for a moment. You're with someone, you're terrified of them, they're taking all of your money, they've cut you off from friends and family, you know, alienated you, and now you want to leave them and stuff with the very little that you have left. But anytime you try, they beat themselves up, they, you know, threaten to call the police and claim that you're the one abusing them. Absolutely not right. They call you crazy anytime you speak out about it too. And then, you know, the people you should be able to turn to, like your own mom, isn't really doing much of anything, you know, and she's also spending away the rest of the money that you do have too. Like, it's just hard. Like, you know, she was really in between a rock and a hard place. And again, I have to reiterate the fact that I do think that her current baby daddy, Andrew Glennon, is disgusting for watching all of this and, you know, being the next person to prey on this poor, vulnerable woman. You guys, what did you think of the second episode of Marriage Boot Camp Family Edition Reality Stars? Please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. You can also like this video, subscribe for more. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. And follow me across social media, where I absolutely love chatting with you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.